let's look at Apex. So we have to figure out an Apex for both guys. We were kind of doing this before the show, but I wanted to talk about it a little further here. So I think you have to start it at a point where they win MVP. Like if they're either their first championship or their first MVP has to be the starting point for each guy.
Yeah. So
what do you think
first, right?
Yeah. What do you think? Wait, before you do LeBron first, should it be the championship, the first chip, or the first MVP?
MVP
for both guys, or I thought we were gonna pick one or the other for each guy.
Well, we are. What I'm saying.
So I think they have. I think it's similar but different with both of them. So in my case with LeBron, I think most consensus thinks LeBron starts his apex in the 2012 season.
Sure.
With that moment in Cleveland with the Celtics.
Yeah.
But he doesn't win his first MVP. I mean, he wins his first MVP in 2009.
Right.
I don't think LeBron starts his apex. I think LeBron is consensus best player in the league, and from then on, once 2012 hits. So that's my argument for LeBron not starting his apex in 2009, and instead of starting it in 2012.
So it would be 12 to
2012 season all the way until his last championship, which was 20.
So only keeping. So you'd be eliminating the two MVPs and bringing it. How many seasons is this? How many games is that? So that's 630 games. I'm just going to keep that off.
Yeah, you see, and that now, because I don't want to take out the two MVPs because I feel like that's definitely important.
So if we include the two MVPs, 0809, right? Yeah. Then we're looking at 874.
Yeah, because I think
let's go to Jordan's and see where we're at.
It's definitely not his freaking. In 09, he was not. That was not his apex, in my opinion. But I feel like you shouldn't take away that MVP though.
That's where my head's at. I would agree with that. But hold on, let me get to Jordan.
Because he in the middle of that, he has literally his lowest moment in his entire career.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah, that's literally
you got to hold that against
the whole thing with Apex is what happened with him is he dropped and then he rose.
Yeah,
like that's where your Apex is starting. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's my thing.
But for Jordan.
The 88 MVP where he wins Defensive Player of the Year and MVP, first player in NBA history to do that, I think has to be the beginning of his apex until his last Bulls championship.
So that puts us at 748 games.
So LeBron's at 130 more games?
Yeah. So if we do... Because I want it to be as close to I want to be at a similar amount of games played. So if we do 12, so that's 638. And if we do Jordan's first championship as opposed to his MVP, right? For whatever it's worth, Stephen A. Smith agrees with you. I was listening to him today. So if we do 90-91, now we're at 503.
Yeah.
I feel like from a playoff standpoint, their apexes are different than if we're looking at cumulatively. I think the best way to do it would be first MVP to last championship.
Actually, let's not even do this.
Okay.
Go to the playoffs. I think that's where, because
if you want to do,
we've already done regular season, right? And in its truest form, Apex is really about the playoffs.
I don't agree with that, but that's okay. Continue.
So, that's fine. When we're looking at someone to think that they're the GOAT or the greatest, what stage are we looking at them in on the finals? None of these we wouldn't even be considering any of these players if they didn't have the finals performances they've had or the runs that they've had in the playoffs. Like there's a reason James Harden doesn't get talked about in this when he's had great regular season numbers.
Sure.
Like,
so look, so stop for a sec. If we do that, right, and we do the time frames you were suggesting, we are one playoff game away. So it's literally 168 to 169 in terms of playoff games. So I'm fine with that. So if we do Jordan 87-88, right, to 97-98, I think I have it set up here already that way. Yeah, 88 to 98. Yeah, it'd be 87-88 when he won his championship. Or when he won that first MVP, right?
Yeah. But sure. Okay, I guess. I mean, I mean, I guess that's when he becomes really competitive in the playoffs too. So
yeah, it is. Fine. It is. It's the first time he gets out of the first round as well.
So, and as we're looking at this, guys, as we're going through this soliloquy and doing this whole thing, if you guys disagree with us, let us know what you think in the comment section.
Facts. Very true facts. Or just don't and go fuck yourself. It's also an option.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, it's still Jordan, more points, more steals, just better defender from the guard position. LeBron doing a little bit more all around with his classic 27, 8, and 8 stat line. LeBron still got him beat. I think LeBron's got him beat in shooting. PER is within 1 full point, right? Or 1.2 points, right? 28.1 to 29.3. True shooting for LeBron is at 61%. Michael Jordan 58 during this era of time. But let's go to the playoffs because that's kind of why we set it up like this. All right, so this is the main reason I wanted to look at it in this way and why I wanted the games to be as close as possible, because now we can look at things like totals and really get a good idea for what exactly we're talking about here. Yeah. So they've both played essentially 168 games, or almost 170, let's say. Jordan's got him beat in points by a pretty good amount. Steals is Jordan. Blocks is LeBron. Rebounds and assists are also LeBron. I want to see effective field goals for LeBron. Both shooting over 50%. LeBron getting to 55.
Sorry, I was looking at the different thing. Never mind. Keep going.
I was like, how dare you correct me? Okay.
Jordan played almost 200 more minutes than LeBron.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, more than 200 minutes.
Isn't that crazy? That's fucking crazy. In almost the same amount of games. Yeah. But when we do minutes per game, it's
okay. It's not that bad. Okay.
Pretty close. So obviously Jordan's got the 6 rings in this period of time, and his full 5 MVPs. LeBron's got 2 MVPs, but all 4 rings and all 4 Finals MVPs for him.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Playoffs.
It's very close.
Their offensive rating is exactly the same in this peak, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if they had each of their pace. That would be cool.
What is the win share? Their win shares. Do they have
so win shares, Michael Jordan has it by slightly by 2. 38.2 to 36.7 for LeBron. And value over replacement player is still Michael Jordan. I like this stat a lot. It takes like an average player's stats and then looks at your stats and says how much better you are than your replacement.
Yeah.
I always like that stat. This is very close, in my opinion.
Yeah, super close.
I think.
And this is overall playoff. No, this is Apex. Okay, so
you know what I want? I want to know.
Yeah.
So Jordan was 118-51 in those 169 games, right?
And that's almost a 70% win percentage.
Yeah. LeBron, and big up to StatMuse because this site is awesome and it gives you stats in pretty colors.
Yeah.
LeBron 116-52.
How many?
So close.
How many more wins?
Close.
If you go back
Sorry.
to Jordan,
118 and
2
50.
more wins, but he has 1 more game.
He has 1 more game, so they're essentially the same. That is fucking weird, yo.
Yeah,
that is bizarre. I'm happy I looked that up. Holy shit.
So how about this? How many? Now this is where. How many 60-win teams did LeBron James beat?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
I'm pretty sure we could look that up.
Because we know, at least in the finals, Sonics had 60 wins in 96. I know that for sure.
All right, so if you look at that right there, no, I'll go back.
I can't look at this picture and say for sure that that's what it is. So let's scroll down.
Yeah.
I trust no fucking picture. Damn, Kareem 1-5 against this. Scroll down to LeBron and Jordan. So LeBron's 3-5 against 60-win teams. Lost
all the wins and all the losses.
Lost to the Warriors, and he lost in the Warriors in 28. But I don't think they were a 60-win team. I guess.
No, they weren't.
Duncan, Shaq, Jordan 7-2. Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of the finals were against 60-win teams. I knew it.
Yeah.
I was like the Sonics were definitely 60 wins. The Jazz both times were 60 wins in the dilution, which is something to note. That those 2 seasons were incredibly diluted.
Yeah.
And then he beat the Suns in '93, that Charles Barkley led team.
Yeah. Even if you take off those 2 diluted seasons,
yeah,
he's still 5-2.
5-2,
which is still more. So,
and this is within the apex. We need to go up to LeBron's and see which ones are in the apex because I think that's important.
So yeah. So the Bulls are.
These 2 are in there. The Bulls are not. This is not. Because it's the year before, 2010, 2011.
Oh, so that doesn't count. Okay, so he's 2 for the
2 and 3.
Count.
He's 2 and 3. We're just looking at the apex. It's a little bit closer, but Jordan still takes him in that from a playoff standpoint. I think Jordan has the best apex of any basketball player to ever live.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm still glad we did this exercise because it was way closer than I thought, especially the wins and the losses in that period of time broke my brain. I'm glad we looked that up.
All this shows us is how we should, and this is kind of what made me kind of not hate LeBron as much.
Yeah.
Really, Kobe's death was, but no, seriously, because it just made me be like, I have to appreciate what I'm seeing more often. But
fair point.
But this just kind of shows that we have witnessed greatness for the last almost 20 years.
Facts.
And some people just don't appreciate it. Some people will after a couple of years, and after he's gone, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be like, "Damn, like he was fucking great." So
yeah,
but he maybe he's not as great as Jordan. Maybe he is, but he's definitely top 5 greatest players of all time for sure. And
yeah,
he witnessed it, so that's pretty dope to see, though.
He beat Jordan in longevity, but he's losing in apex by a cunt hair, by one of my beard hairs. Like, it's close.
So you won't say
closer than you think.
You know, like so your statement in like 3 months ago where you said Jordan was head and shoulders above everybody. I just had to. I had to. Let's move on.
You guys.
No. Don't you fucking dare say you guys.
No, stop.
Fucking Albuquerque.
Stop.
I don't want to hear that shit.
It's like he's talking to his mom right now. Don't you dare take his side.
Don't even include me in this garbage.
What I was gonna say is that if we're gonna keep saying head and shoulders, we should really get a fucking check from the fucking shampoo company for how many times we bring them up.
That ass. My bald ass giving them a fucking check. This is bullshit.
That's your fault. You started.
Oh yeah, might have been my fault the first time, but not the 12 other times afterwards. Anyway.
Whatever. Just be like, look, I'm perfectly dandruff free. I don't even have hair.
Look,
It was like a perfect thing.
I gotta figure out a way to put Michael Jordan on a top, Michael Jordan's head on the top of a bottle of Head and Shoulders, and just have it as a T-shirt for people to buy.
That would be the worst T-shirt I've ever seen in my life.
Fuck you would be the best T-shirt anybody's ever seen. Fuck out of here. Fire.